Breaking news today. Putin's war hawks want to shoot down Zelensky's plane. War hawks in Russia have spent the better part of a year insisting that their country is not losing in Ukraine. Rather, it is simply being held back. Now, however, it is said that everyone is ready to drop their guard. Bombing civilians while they sleep is no longer acceptable. It's time to shoot down Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's plane, and launch missiles at his residence in Kyiv, two Kremlin allies said on Wednesday. After Moscow accused Ukraine of trying to assassinate President Vladimir Putin at the Kremlin overnight, a chorus of pro-Kremlin voices called for merciless revenge. Russian officials and propagandists alike immediately and angrily demanded that the real war now begin, rather than question the official version of events, such as how two Ukrainian drones could evade all of Russia's air defenses to strike in the heart of the capital. However, this is not a stop sign, correct? No justification for calling it war, then? It's time to take the reins and lead. There was no need to deliberately shoot down Zelensky's plane because he was merely escaping in flight. No, of course it's still not enough, Anton Krasovsky, a propagandist, wrote jadedly on Telegram. Alexander Kotz, a pro-Kremlin war correspondent, recently claimed that launching missiles at Kyiv's decision-making centers would not be sufficient at this point. Now, Russia must eliminate the decision-makers themselves, in his opinion. The Kremlin claims Putin was the target of an overnight assassination attempt, but he managed to escape. Dmitry Medvedev, the increasingly irrational deputy head of Russia's Security Council, demanded that the military physically eliminate Zelensky and his clique. There are no options left after today's terrorist attack, he wrote on Telegram. And we're just supposed to take this. The neo-Nazi paramilitary group Rusich asked why central Kyiv wasn't being turned into ruins at this very moment. The calls for hell to break loose on Ukraine from lawmakers were only moderately muted. According to Sergei Miranov's writings, this constitutes a genuine casus belli. He then called for the liquidation of Ukraine's government, saying, "We have something with which to wipe out their bunkers." State Duma head Vyacheslav Volodin has said that lawmakers will demand the use of weapons capable of stopping and destroying the Kyiv terrorist regime. Pro-war Some Russian bloggers started spreading the meme, "If you don't bomb Ukrainian government headquarters at Bankova, Bankova will bomb you." Military bloggers who have made their livings convincing Kremlin audiences that Ukraine's military is weak and incompetent have suddenly begun spreading false rumors that Russian President Vladimir Putin is in danger. After the alleged drone attack on the Kremlin and reports that the president's team instructed its media mouthpieces to exaggerate the threat posed by Ukraine, the administration has apparently decided to reverse course. A leaked crisis manual shows how Putin prepares Russia for defeat. Ukraine has denied any involvement in the alleged attack and suggested it might just be part of Moscow's latest escalation of the war ahead of a planned Ukrainian counteroffensive, despite more than a dozen civilians being killed in a Russian strike on Kherson on Wednesday. Nothing against Putin or Moscow from us. Zelensky, speaking on television from Germany, said, "We fight on our own territory, defending our villages and cities," adding that Ukraine doesn't even have enough weapons to launch attacks inside Russia. The Financial Times cited a Russian expert who said the drones likely originated from the suburbs of the capital and that the relatively small number of drones used in the attack indicated that it was likely carried out by a partisan group. The drone attack was nonetheless seen by many as the beginning of a new stage of the conflict. An advisor to the Ukrainian president, Mikhailo Podolyak, made a statement on Twitter in which he claimed that the incident was staged so that Russia could increase its aggression against Ukraine and, at long last, satisfy the pro-war patriots, cheering on more destruction and death. A major terrorist attack is being planned in Russia.